Most samurai choose their blades. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. The purpose... We hope to assist with the investigation.
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying.
We heard that there was a collect...
Yes. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. If I had to guess, he's never been particular. He is
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be, based on the evidence we have...
What? No, he is humble. Yes, if there's... But I also cannot know what course... Anyway, should you find him...
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the... Time to go. The wind knows me.
My apologies. Kamore Tea House only accepts guests.
I'm very sorry, but my husband has gone missing and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the...
I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to... With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's...
For example, Paimon's struggling to
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic everything was fine when we first...
Uh-oh!
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said,
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts... After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And the next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. Amin Omayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nug.
At first, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so...
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the... Perhaps he's too afraid to come home. Now... Even though I'm still a little mad at him. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya...
A little confusing.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we...
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated and ultimately... However, in this case, only one of the parties would have started the fire. If this is indeed what happened, and the innocent man hasn't come forward... One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential... The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Amenoma Yuya lacks a...
Darn!
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some...
Okay, but...
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. Wait. I hear something ominous in the...
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it...
Now I'm picking up a strong...
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma, the remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed, but this unexpected spring of inauspicious end, we should remain vigilant.
So it's an underground...
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. Judging from the concentration...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of From what I've been told... But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here...
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy... Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you, too, will perceive its ominous presence in the wind. From this point, the trail, the main source of the Tatarigami energy, continued on into the distance.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
The wind knows me. By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of... well... According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight.
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell for a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame all the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected. I have a hypothesis.
Wait! You figured it...
I believe so. But it's something of an outland. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger. He seems to have stayed here for a long...
Why here?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaede Harakazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving... Whoa! Surely you don't...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical... The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, or rather, as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already... Many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do...
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world.
So... swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So tell me, what happens to those you've possessed?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired or injured or unusable...
You're off!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse. At long last, Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Now, give your body over to me! Submit to me.
Wind Strider!
We shall rewrite history! Join me and sever that divine light!
That hurt! One with nature. Oh, so sorry. Dodge this!
Rewrite history!
Clouds high. The birds call! Time to go. Into the wind.
We shall rewrite history! Join me and sever that divine light! Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling!
Lost. I can never... Even if you defeat... He is but a puppet that can be... The end result is the same! And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. By any means necessary, and...
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of since the blade is current, if you ask me, the main...
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the... Now that I've seen inside your mind. After all the time that's passed.
Oh, that...
only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress. Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition, I think you realized your limitations long ago. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal!
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous, even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker... Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. How could you possibly unleash the...
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly.
And you should face...
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. It is pointless to argue further.
How stubbornly you stick to your... I do not believe for a second.
What? Surely...
Very well. Then find yourselves. Once we have dealt with them, we shall...
And as for your end of the...
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ame-no-me Yuya. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions.
But...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first, but it's all right. So far, this was... I will.
What should we do next?
We find some enemy. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, if a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about... Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base...
All right.
What about Ame-no-me Yuya?
The blade says he'll let Ame-no-me Yuya trail us.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a Okay, fine.
Time to go.
This place impresses me every time I come here. It's so magnificent, but still so elegant.
We'll just wait here. We don't want to cause any extra trouble for you.
Ayaka wouldn't mind.
Honestly, even if we did come with you, we wouldn't know what to say or...
All right then. We won't...
Leave everything on this journey to me.
It's my lucky day.
The wind knows me.
Time to go.
Let's get down to business.
Wind strike!
My blade!
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than... Let's keep going.
Let's get down to business.
Fine. Wind strike.
To the ferry. Let's get down to business. The perfect distance.
Time to go.
How's this?
Fallen
My
leaves.
blade.
Adorn my night.
Oh my god. To the ferry.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will
But what would that do to Amanome?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plan. He's still trying to achieve his goal. Wind strike!
Fall before me! This isn't over!
Are you okay? It looked like you were ripped.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached...
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance.
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the law, it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why you wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. The only one who truly understood you had already...
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup!
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the... One with nature.
Very.
Time to go.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony.
But in this too, you have...
Indeed. Too much time has... Yours is the blame.
Actually, this is just... Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years. Skill. Blade. There is something else I must... Tatarigami is a though you tried to
I sensed it, but...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness. And how could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, do not... How...
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm.
The wind knows me.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, a bladesmith lay quietly on the bed. His frail face barely visible, a newly forged blade lay by his side.
Wow.
Indeed. He spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma. No matter, all he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocity. Yes, time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill, but darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition,
you are finally seeing
since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Ame no Mayuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the... So, may I ask you to help me fulfill...
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too?
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will my physical form as well.
His attitude has... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. Alas, after that, he never rose from his... Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battles. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely... You are a fine warrior.
Oh? And who would be the
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his conscience. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has...
I see. He used my body. I utterly despise him and his actions. But if a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't... In any case...
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash! Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has us still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin art.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Time to go. Wind strike. As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Thank you for the although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained his sense of savage cruelty has...
You also fought well. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for...
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late for...
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as my... I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but I beseech you, please.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the...
Thank you, successor of Amenoma.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there to...
What does he want?
I'm not sure, but...
Adventure time!
Time to go.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all...
A prized Ishin blade. But I have some good news as well.
Really?
Yes. Badly wounded, but he will... And now that Yuya is back, it seems like...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear?
Yes. He said he wants to take control...
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his make... I have decided...
But...
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let...
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why his consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's...
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down, he'd only in the final...
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to... Speaking for myself, I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light, your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fasten...
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on.
wait! Should I...
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him...
Time to go. Time to go.
The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse.
Wow, you sure
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. And so, it looks like I will likely continue. The Kaidahara clan has always been a family. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware. But
very well, I can understand. However, if you should ever change your mind or...
Great.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably... As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. Paimon was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy. Like... So... Traveling to Tibet...